The Internet is an intricate system that connects millions of computers and devices worldwide, enabling them to communicate and share data. It has revolutionized the way people interact, work, learn, and entertain themselves. Understanding how the Internet works involves diving into its components, technologies, and processes that make digital communication possible. At its core, the Internet is a network of networks. It's a massive system of connected computers that communicate using a shared set of protocols. The main purpose of the Internet is to allow information to be shared between devices such as computers, smartphones, servers, and many others. This communication occurs over a vast range of hardware, including routers, cables, satellites, and data centers, all working together to ensure data travels quickly and securely across the globe. To understand how the Internet works, it's important to know the components that make it possible: devices, IP addresses, routers, switches, and servers. These are the building blocks that ensure communication between devices happens smoothly. Devices are the computers, smartphones, tablets, and servers that are connected to the Internet. These devices communicate with each other by sending and receiving data in the form of packets. Every device on the Internet has a unique address called an IP address, Internet Protocol address. Think of it as the device's phone number or home address. It helps route information to the correct device. Routers and switches are essential parts of the Internet's infrastructure. Routers connect different networks, helping data travel from one network to another. When you send data, routers determine the best path for it to travel across the Internet. Switches, on the other hand, help forward data within local networks, ensuring that it reaches the right destination. Servers are powerful computers that store and provide information. When you visit a website, your computer sends a request to the server where the site is stored. The server then sends the requested data back to your device. When you access a website, the data doesn't just travel directly from one device to another. Instead, it passes through a complex process involving several key steps. One of the first steps when you type a website's URL into your browser is the domain name system, DNS. DNS acts like a phone book for the Internet. When you type something like www.google.com, your computer needs to know the IP address of Google's server in order to connect to it. The DNS translates the domain name, the website's name, into an IP address, allowing your computer to locate the server. Once the DNS resolves the domain name, your computer sends a request to the server hosting the website. This is typically done using a protocol called HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, or HTTPS, the secure version. Your request asks for specific data, such as a web page, image, or file. The data you request doesn't travel in a straight line from your computer to the server. Instead, it's broken down into small chunks called packets, each containing part of the data, the destination IP address, and other routing information. These packets travel through various routers, switches, and other network devices to reach their destination. Each router along the way examines the packet and decides the best route based on the current network conditions, such as traffic congestion. This routing process ensures that the data reaches its destination efficiently and can adjust if any routes are unavailable. Once the packets reach the server, they are reassembled into the original data. The server then sends the requested data, such as a web page or a file, back to your device using the same process. When the data reaches your computer, it is reassembled and displayed in your browser. This could be a website, an image, or even a video. The entire process happens in a matter of seconds or even milliseconds, making it seem instantaneous. However, behind the scenes, thousands of devices, servers, and routers work together to deliver the information you requested. The Internet also relies on various protocols to ensure smooth communication. One of the most important is the TCP/IP protocol, Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol. TCP is responsible for breaking down the data into smaller packets and reassembling them once they reach their destination. IP, on the other hand, is responsible for routing these packets to the correct destination. These protocols are essential for the Internet to function correctly, ensuring that data is delivered accurately and efficiently. Another important aspect of the Internet is security. When you send data over the Internet, it can be vulnerable to various threats, such as hacking or data theft. To protect this data, encryption is used. HTTPS, for example, encrypts the data exchanged between your browser and the server, ensuring that no one can read or tamper with the information as it travels across the Internet. Secure Socket Layer (SSL) and Transport Layer Security (TLS) protocols are often used to provide secure communication channels for sensitive transactions, such as online banking or shopping. The Internet is also made up of vast networks of fiber optic cables, which carry the data between servers and routers. These cables are capable of transmitting large amounts of data over long distances at very high speeds. Additionally, satellites and wireless networks play a role in ensuring that even remote areas have access to the Internet, whether it's through a fiber optic cable buried underground or a satellite orbiting the Earth. These networks ensure that data can travel from one point to another without interruption. The Internet's growth has been fueled by advancements in technology, such as cloud computing, which allows users to store and access data online instead of relying on local storage. This has made it easier for people to share large files, stream videos, and use applications without needing powerful hardware. The cloud also enables businesses to operate more efficiently, as they can access resources and services remotely without needing to maintain expensive infrastructure. In conclusion, the Internet works through a complex web of interconnected devices, protocols, and networks that allow data to travel quickly and securely across the globe. It's a system built on communication between computers, servers, and routers, with a series of protocols ensuring that information is transmitted accurately. From the moment you type a website address into your browser to the moment the data reaches your device, the Internet is working tirelessly behind the scenes. Although it may seem like a simple process, the technology behind the Internet is constantly evolving, making the exchange of information faster, more secure, and more efficient.